Welcome back to Buckets WNBA edition. I am your host, Jim Turvey. It is a Thursday, or it's a Friday when you're listening to this, but we have Dano Mataya in the house. Dano, I blew up your spot on Tuesday's episode, kind of spilled the beans a little bit, but we got you on the second episode this week, and we wanted to have a little story time. So you want to tell the people where you were on Monday night instead of recording?
Yeah. One, it's like just like we're not recording on a Monday, recording now. It feels so different. It feels so new.
It does.
Good, refreshing energy. But no, last week I was at dinner with my wife and dog, and I bit into a piece of meat that was advertised as pork belly burnt end. Big in Texas, barbecue type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
First one was good. And then I go to bite in the second one, and I immediate pain. And there's like a little shard of bone in it. And it cracked a tooth right here in half. So I went to the dentist, and they said, can't save it. You're going to have to remove it and get an implant. So I got it removed on Monday, and I thought I would be fine to record. And then my face is still a little swollen.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see Dano's still got a little puffy.
Yeah. So the left side of my face up to here is just like, so I still can't fully move the left side of my mouth, but the painkillers have been awesome.
I was gonna say, Monday night's episode would have been really interesting. You were firing off some spicy Samurai Turned Pretty takes. You were clearly you were doing all right that night.
Yes, and thanks for bringing that up. Wife got me into the Samurai Turned Pretty and taking off a couple days from the surgery from like my regular job and whatnot. I binged the whole way. I'm all caught up. And if you can reply to me on Twitter, just at me and say, Dano, I'm Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah and then state your reason. I will DM you, and I will give you this Kelsey Plum Las Vegas Aces jersey. It's the 25th anniversary edition. It's got a little patch on the front. It's very cool. But I will mail it to you. Continuous giveaways. We love that. Then I still haven't mailed out the two of the prizes. The tooth got in the way, but they're all packaged up. They'll be going out tomorrow just to our winners from the mailbag stuff. And I'll think of some more prizes for next week. Now that I'll see you in like 4 days,
I know we'll be running it back before we know it. I love that. I think you're going to get Team Conrad. I listen. I've been only in and out of the room, but Team Conrad seems like the internet's champion. I don't see many people going Jeremiah Pack.
And he was at the Liberty game.
Oh wait, was he really?
Yeah.
Look at this. It's true synergy here of bringing it back to the WNBA. Well done, Dan. Yeah. I had no idea the most recent game.
Yeah, which they lost. So
they have to.
Can't believe they did that, but Conrad has faced a lot of heartbreak in his life. So it's
did him dirty.
Yeah.
On and off court there. Yes. Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing your little story there. Hope you're feeling better. It seems like you're powering through. So appreciate you coming back on the podcast today, and then we'll have you on next week, and then we'll have we should have Daniel Alvari on next week. We're going to look at some of those predictions we did a month ago or so.
Tell her I said hello.
Yeah, pass along a friendly hello. So we have a pretty good Friday slate here. We've got 5 games on Friday. We're gonna do that. We'll talk through Survivor. We got a little tweak there that we'll talk through, and we've got a few more mailbag questions. Picked out a couple for Dano that I thought really were kind of in his wheelhouse. So I'll be sharing thoughts, but this is going to be these questions are very Dano centric, especially one that I'm excited to get your answer for.
I'm excited to hear.
Let's go to the Friday slate. So like I said, we got 5 games. Nice big slate. We're going to start with Golden State at Chicago. The Valkyries are, I'm realizing that I did not up to state this total and the spread. They are 6.5 point favorites. They were 5.5. It's been moving out towards Valkyries. No surprise there. Total is 151. Monique Billings still out, but that's it for Golden State. They're getting relatively healthy. Angel Reese still out for Chicago. Haley Van Lith and Ariel Atkins are probable. Atkins is likely to be on a minutes limit again. That will come into play when we talk about props. Washington at Indiana. Indiana's 8.5 point favorite. Totals 162. Washington's without Shakira Austin and JC Sheldon. For Indiana, it's still Caitlin Clark, obviously, and then there are two that they lost for the season, Ari McDonald, Sydney Colson. We'll stop saying their names eventually, but still relatively new on their side. Then we've got the Sparks at the Wings. Sparks are laying 4.5 points. Total there is 178. Sparks are all healthy. Cameron Brink got cleared. She had the exit of recent game, but she is all good to play. On the Dallas side, we've got Arike out. Paige and Isaiah are probable. We have a full clean bill of health in Aces at Mercury. Mercury are 4.5 point favorites. Total there's 166.5. And then Seattle also all healthy. They're 3-point underdogs to the Dream without Jordan Canada. Total 161. Those two teams just played. Awesome little spurt at the end of the third quarter from Ryan Howard to kind of clinch the game for the Dream. The Storm weren't able to make it back. They really are struggling. I think the losing streak maybe is up to 7 at this point. They've dropped below 500, a little dicey in Seattle. They'll be looking to get a win before too long. So with all that preamble, Dano, you've got 4 best bets for me here. What are your best bets for the Friday slate?
Yeah, I mean, some of them will not be like full plays.
Yeah.
At least one of them for sure. I'm starting off with Sparks team total over 90.5. I'll do my other team total. Sky team total under 71.5. Shocker. Asia Wilson over 33.5 points and rebounds. And then an alt spread at FanDuel at least. The Atlanta Dream minus 9.5 at plus 220. So going a little half unit on that.
Nice. I'll give my 2 best bets, and we can kind of walk through it game by game because I think we'll have most of the games covered here. I'm going with Ariel Atkins under 12.5 points, and I'm going with the Indiana Fever team total over 85. So let's start with this first game here. Golden State at Chicago. Actually, I don't think. Oh yeah, I've got the Ariel Atkins play, so I'll walk through this play. I think this is our one play here, and then you've got the Sky team total under 71.5. Obviously, very correlated. If you want to toss them in a little parlay together, I don't hate that. For my side of things, Ariel Atkins been playing, but on very limited minutes. Last game, only 8.5 minutes. But in general, I'm thinking she'll play, low 20s in this game. But this is a Valkyries defense that just is very good, and they're very good at taking away the other team's best option. Now, the last time these two teams played, Ariel Atkins did have a very good game. It was her highest minutes total of the season. I kind of picture her playing about half of those minutes that she got in that game. She scored 20 in that game, but again, if you chop that in half, you're down around 10. Love that 12.5 number for a 3-point shooter. If I'm looking for an over, I want that 11.5. If I'm looking for an under, I like that 12.5. Atkins has gotten under this in 7 of her last 9 games. In what should be, the Sky offense. I'm with you on this team total under. I think it's a good play. They're just struggling right now. They really do not look good. This is a Valkyries defense and a Valkyries team that just kind of takes care of business. They win the games they should win. They are very much in the hunt for the playoffs and don't look like they're slowing down at all. So I assume I touched on maybe some of the stuff there that would lead you to your Sky team total under, but why don't you talk through your play, which is very much in line with the Atkins under?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've just been blind betting this. Now, obviously, Angel Reese has been a huge part of the Sky's success. So without her, it's been a steep drop off. But specifically in the month of August, 6 of their 7 games, I think, have gone under this number. I think they've hit 70 twice. Put 78 on the Fever, I believe, and that's when they were just going nuts from 3, which can happen. The Valks do kind of force you into a lot of threes, mostly bad threes. But Valks are just so good, locked in. And I think with kind of the landscape of the league right now, with Seattle free falling, the Mystics trading sites, I think the writing is on the wall for this team to walk into the playoffs. And what better coach to keep a team focused than, the soon-to-be coach of the year. So to me, it's a no-brainer. This is the side of the ball where you can trust the Valks more, I believe. I don't hate minus 6.5. To be completely chalk in this game. But I feel a little safer with the team total under.
Yeah, I like that because Valkyrie's offense for for all that Natalie can extract from a team. Last game, I'll kind of maybe even parlay this into the second game here with this Washington at Indiana. They played the Mystics last game and they scored 88. But I really do think that Mystics defense looks a lot different without Shakira Austin. So I think that 88 that they put up in that game isn't kind of a consistent number. So I'm with you on kind of leaning towards the under in that game. I logged the under in the app. And then being on the Valk side as well. So I when you're on the under and when you're on one side, that you can double dip the team total under. So I'm definitely with you on this guy team total under against the Valks here. I'll quickly touch on this Indiana team total. I mean the Atkins part of it is pretty big. I think the Washington defense without Shakira is a notable jump down from when she's on the court. Numbers back it up. She's the best defensive net rating on the team. When she doesn't start, it's Steph Dolson. You don't really have to look at the numbers to know that going from Shakira Austin as your center to Steph Dolson as your center is going to make your defense a lot worse. I was eyeing a couple player props for Indiana. When we get to Survivor, there'll be one that I go in on. I think you could look at a couple here. I think if you're targeting, one of these same game parlays, I don't mind this as a game to look at some of those players with overs. It's always easier to get the overs for the same game parlay. They don't always give you the unders. So this Indiana team, I think Aaliyah Boston could have a good game against Steph Dolson. I think Kelsey Mitchell could have a good game, kind of toasting that perimeter defense of Washington. This defense without Shakira really isn't at the same level, and they're still battling. They were down big early in that Valks game. They battled back and made it a game, but I do think that the defensive side of the ball is going to be a battle without Shakira. So I'm going to take the under on the Indiana team total. You don't have any bets specific to this game, but do you have any thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I bet that earlier today.
Nice.
With Doug Kazarian, he's big sharp, and I think that's the smart play. I think this total is honestly too low in general. 161, 162.
Yeah.
Fever after a loss also at home. I don't know. I think it's going to be a ton of points. And I think the last time the Mystics played, they only took 10 threes and they made one. So we should expect to see more. Granted, I don't know what defense is going to show up for the Fever from time to time, but I trust that it will be somewhat decent. So I think of all the plays for this game, I think team total over is the safest one for sure.
This is a big day of team totals in general. We'll move along to the next game, and that's your best bet there. You got the Sparks team total over 90.5 against Dallas. I mean, I assume I know that the part of this is Dallas is back to no D, but break this one down for me.
Yeah, I mean they held Indiana to 81 points, but I think that was a lot of missed shots. I do like that they will be very fat and happy after a huge win on the road. Yeah. Anytime you win Indiana, I should have looked that up. Teams who won at Indiana, how they've done afterwards. I also like Sparks -4. I am Team Sparkles. I'm just going to say it. I love this team. I think I spoke at the very beginning of the season how I want to bet their, team total over getting the playoffs after starting bad, like when they start to get healthy. But they've scored, it's a high team total, 90.5. But they've put over 90.5, 10 of the last 13 games.
Wow.
This team is just flying. Granted, one of those was in double overtime. I think that was under that you had in Seattle
It was.
On the game. So they wouldn't have hit it, but still, it's still on the ledger. So I think this is another team who sees a real opportunity for the playoffs. And with the fact that they own the tiebreaker over Seattle after getting 2 wins against them in dramatic fashion, this is these are games that you cannot lose now. And when you're playing the bottom four, so when I reference bottom four, I'm talking Connecticut, Wings, Sky, and
Mystics at this point.
Yeah. Well, is it? Am I missing someone completely?
I think that's the team that is now in the kind of that fourth from the bottom slot. The league's good. There
Yeah,
really aren't that many
yeah,
gimme wins.
yeah. I mean, Mystics did lose to the Sky, so I think, I mean, like, that's something. But
I
yeah,
think this
so I
version of
mean,
the Mystics is
let's
like
say,
near that tier.
yeah, but let's say bottom three, for example,
Yeah.
with this matchup. You cannot lose those matchups anymore. With how slim, basically a game and a half separating uh, seventh through ninth seeds. So, I mean, I love what the Sparks have been doing. Julie Van Loo provided good minutes for once. And she's like been the one person I worry about off the bench, but Ray Burrell is a spark, like, pun intended. Um, Plum is doing incredible. Like, I mean, I think I criticized her early in the year about, like, maybe she's not the person that can lead a team, can lead a franchise, but she's been just excellent. And this team is scoring at will, putting up major points against some really good defenses.
And
I mean,
here's the flip side of that. Their defense has been pretty not that great,
yeah,
which means the games get close and it just goes higher and higher. It kind of spirals up, 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 up.
yeah. And uh, I think they stay closer with New York if Brink doesn't go out in the second half. I think I did bet on the Sparks to keep it close, which, I mean, the fact that I was confident enough to bet the Sparks plus 3.5 against the New York Liberty team says a lot about my confidence in them. So I trust them. I expect a lot of points in a fun game. I'm not going, even though it is in Dallas. I can't pay me to go to Arlington,
Recovery mode.
but yeah, and that reminds me. I mean, that's the problem. If you have YouTube TV, you cannot watch it. You can't watch the games
Yeah, you
unless
have to
Courtney
find a
Williams'
way.
dad is streaming. Oh, it's on Ion. We're good, baby. All right, sick. Yeah. So that's my that's my view.
There you go. All right, let's go along to I think the game of the night. Although I guess Seattle Atlanta probably has a good shout for it, but I'm pretty excited for this Aces Mercury game. The Aces,
Mm-hmm.
we give the Aces a lot of shit on this podcast, and not
Yeah.
entirely undeserved, but they have played a lot better. Got a win over New York in what was kind of a tough schedule spot for New York, honestly. But a win
Yeah.
over New York's a win over New York. They're 4.5-point dogs against the Mercury. You like Asia Wilson to have a big game. Before you get to the Asia breakdown, do you have any lean on a side here? I feel like I would either bet the Aces money line or the Mercury like -6. Like it feels like if this is a close game, I'm gonna like the Aces, but I could also see the Mercury just being the better team and kind of being like, okay, this is what happened when the Aces played the Lynx. They didn't look all that good. They played the Liberty, but it was a really tough spot. They aren't quite reestablished, but they might be reestablished. What are your thoughts on the side?
Uh, I am a little bit biased. I love the Mercury.
Yeah.
And I also, like, despise the Aces. Probably don't make that bet. Last night I took the Liberty live on the money line, which I mean, it felt like it's just something in my DNA that I can't
You had to.
not do. But I have fun. But I mean, you had the Mercury had 5 days at home after
Yeah.
after a home loss to prep, recover, watch film from the last time they played. Uh, yeah, I mean, if I'm leaning aside, I mean, I'm not betting against the Phoenix Mercury at home. They've only lost. I think they've only not covered 3 games at home. Once to Seattle, once to these Aces, and I guess it would be twice to the Dream. So 4 times, but 3 different teams.
That home crowd is up there. We got a question later on about home atmospheres. That crowd has been for a long time one of the best in the league and is not letting them down this year for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, I need to take mental notes about stuff I want to look up, but I'd like to see, like, some of these teams that we think have good home crowds, like how they do on specific days of the week. Like Friday night should be like
Electric.
yeah.
Okay, talk to me about the Asia Wilson prop that you have here. You have over 33.5 points plus rebounds.
Yeah, 26-18 last time they played. She's gone over this number in 4 straight. She's kind of on a like super heater. She had 30 and 20 the other night. I probably 11.5 rebounds is safer, to be honest, if she's having an off night. But I think at this point, the Aces are also a team that can't really afford to lose too many games. They're also on the Cups. They're at 6 right now. And that would put you in a matchup with currently the New York Liberty, who you've won 1 game against in the past 9. So, or I guess 2 in the last 9.
Be a hell of a first round series.
Yeah. So you probably want to move up. I don't know if the opportunity for, the opportunity to get as high as 4 is honestly there. So, Asia is going to be playing. I like to say that based on the last few games, the Aces have made a concerted effort to get her the ball. Just on my eye test, she's putting up shots. And this Phoenix Mercury front court is honestly like the one weakness on this team. And even against bigger teams, like Nate really doesn't play Kalani Brown. It's just, Natasha Mack for a little bit, and then AT and Satu, good luck down there, which I don't think is a recipe for success, and why is my only hesitation in back in the Merc. I think the Mercury win by hitting 14 threes and forcing teams to turn the ball over. And granted, like Mercury defense since they got blasted by the Dream at home has been incredible. Held the Sky to under 70, Sun under 70, Fever to 60, and they lost to the Dream recently, but held them to 74 points, which is pretty damn good. So 4 straight games holding teams under 80. 3 of those being at home. I think I'm not taking a chance with the guard, but Brianna Jones and Naz Hillman, I think, combined for 24 rebounds in their last game. So the rebounding opportunities are going to be there, and Asia Wilson's, with Angel Reese out for sure, is probably the best rebounder in the league. So
yeah, I love this. I really like the angle against, you and I love Phoenix, but if they do have one weak spot, it's a player like Asia Wilson, and in a game that should be pretty close, I think she's going to be getting plenty of looks. So yeah, I'm going to join you on this one. Final game here, Seattle at Atlanta. Only look we have for this is you're going with a dream alt spread. So you are very much obviously on the Atlanta side. Why did you decide on the alt spread instead of the regular -3?
Seattle has been in so many games lately. Like, all right, lose by 2 in double overtime at home to the Sparks. Lose by 4 to the Fever at home. Lose by 4 to the Lynx at home. Lose by 4 to the Aces on the road. Lose by 3 to the Sparks in LA. And then just lost by 10. But that game did get a little bit close there for a second, until Ryan Howard went absolutely ballistic. So my view here is I think Seattle is going to get their absolute shit rocked, and we get Noelle Quinn fired tomorrow night.
It's
I feel like I've been on one of these podcasts and done this before.
Yeah.
But yeah, you brought it up. They lost 7 straight. I think 8 of their last 10. This is a team that people had probably in their top 3 going into the year. Definitely above Phoenix, probably under New York and Minnesota, probably above Vegas, definitely above Atlanta. And we've seen Atlanta in, very similar spots playing teams that they just played. And I lost to, like they beat the Mercury on the road. Didn't play them, back to back immediately. But that's a huge win, right?
Yeah.
Beat the Mercury on the road. What do they do after that? They go upset the Lynx in Minnesota. Then they drop one at home against the Valks, which is understandable. Get back to their winning ways. Did not cover against Dallas, but They blast the Mercury again. I think it's just a team that right now is so locked in. Let's see, they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 of the last 9. The only loss being the freaking Valks at home,
It's
which is
crazy.
crazy. But Ryan Howard's back. I think it was good to get comfortable, get her legs under, take a lot of shots. And, Alicia Gray is having arguably the third or fourth best season in the league right now. So I don't think Seattle is good. Preying on their downfall. I got Valks and Sparks to get in, and I want to see that come to fruition. Huge game for the standings overall.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, outside of it just being a deja vu spot. But with everything that Seattle has right now, to me, they're on auto fade, and I just can't. I can't do it. I can't bet the Storm. So I think the Dream are going to shit on them.
Yeah, Seattle is the team that seems like they're begging for this regression. They keep losing these close games, and I'm kind of with you. And I do think, I think the coaching matchup here, Carl Smesco, who I know you've got Natalie Nakase winning coach of the year. I think Smesco's in the mix, and if they can hang on to that 2 seed, it's going to be a pretty interesting conversation down the stretch. I mean, Noel Quinn.
Yeah, you're right.
If they hold that 2 seed, it's going to be interesting. The roster for the Storm is really, really good. They're getting Dominique Malanga is now good. She's already good in her rookie year. They have 6 really talented players, and they just keep losing these games. I kind of want to see Seattle, whatever it takes, fire Noel Quinn, because before the end of the season, because most likely they have to do it at the end of the season. But at that point, everything's shuffling. The whole league is going to look different next year. We've talked about how crazy it's going to be. There's no point to firing her at the end of the season. You may as well just let her stick around at that point. I want to see it. I wish it was already happening, to be honest. Get another coach in there. The tricky part is, who do you bring in?
Pokey Chapman, she's on the bench. Pokey.
Exactly. Have Pokey step into the lead role. Give us a look. There's no way this team is an under 500 team. As someone who holds a lot of Seattle Storm futures, I want it. I want it soon. I want it now.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
It has been brutal watching this last 7 game stretch. So
I do feel like, I mean, did BG play last game? She did.
BG, yeah, she played 18 minutes off the bench.
And Malanga didn't play that much last game.
She only played 12.
After the last few games she had,
it makes no sense.
So, but I mean, that could be a matchup thing.
Yeah.
I mean, or I'm a front office president saying, we just invested our number 2 pick and she drops back-to-back 20-point games and you play her 12 minutes. What the fuck are you doing, Noel Quinn? Yeah. Where's Hope? That used to be a great home crowd, by the way. But anyways, so yeah. And I mean, I think the Storm also, with their lack of 3-point shooting, is a team that if they get down, it is really hard for them to get back in it.
That 10-point lead, when Ryan hit Ryan scored 9 points in the last minute of the third quarter. The game was over. They can't come back. The crazy part is that they were the top 3-point shooting team to start the season, and that was fool's gold. And that's the tricky part with Seattle. The Seattle team is, where are you going to get that from now? The comeback ability. Producer David, shout out. He said, "I wonder what the parlay pays out, -9.5 all, and coach fired." So maybe that's our parlay of the day if somehow we can get that. I don't think that's available anywhere, but that would be I think highly correlated. We might see our first coach fired of the year potentially.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it hadn't happened. So let's get it done. Let's get it done. Seattle fans, it's not like I'm mad or I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to look forward.
Yeah.
Pokey's got great coaching experience. Pokey's the players coach. People love Pokey. So
Pokey would be awesome. And here's the
hell
thing.
of a name too.
It's not like it's not like the locker room's doing great. We're getting reports about how toxic the locker room in Seattle is. So it's not happening on the court. It's not happening off the court. Just does not seem good in Seattle. Let's move along. Let's go to Survivor, where I lost last week. I believe it was my Sabrina play that you were nervous about, and it did indeed lose. So
I know you've cursed her. That's why she's off the wall.
It's, yeah, we had to move along to a different jersey because she knocked me out of Survivor. Now, Dano very nicely has offered to say we both are going to use our immunity because Dano lost one earlier on an episode with Brian. So
False. It was a phony challenge.
Exactly. So what we're going to say is we're going to each have used our immunity. If you watch Survivor, you know what that means. So we're going to say we're starting fresh. We made the merge. We each used an idol or immunity, whatever you want to say. And now we are going to do minus 200 or shorter odds and see how long we can last again. This is the true Survivor finals, and whoever goes out first will donate $25 to a charity that the other one chooses. That's what Dano and I always love doing. So with that in mind, with minus 200 is kind of short, and mine is even a little bit shorter than that. I wanted to be on this player. I talked about her in the section above as a player I was interested today in betting. Kelsey Mitchell, 20 plus. She has been hitting this relatively regularly with Caitlin out. She does have some inconsistencies. Like there are games where she will miss a lot of shots. Against this Washington team, I don't foresee that being an issue. We also got Odyssey Sims in the mix last game. She played about 12 minutes. So it's a little bit less of a playmaking role for Kelsey and a little bit more of that back to that scoring role. So I'm going to take her 20 plus. You can get it minus 130. So, this is a borderline just, in the best bet section, but I wanted to save it for the Survivor section, and that will be my Survivor play. Dano, what is your Survivor play for Friday?
It's my queen, Rakia Jackson, from the Sparks to get at least 15 points. I am already on the over. It's very similar to Jim. I'm already on the team
we
total
both have
over.
the player, the star, one of the star players for the team that we gave the team total out.
Yeah, so the sparkles are my tribe. I do think that she is probably has the best matchup in this game, barring anything. Haley Jones has like an incredible defensive performance. More power to her. But this is a team that you should be able to run a lot against. She gets out on the break a lot. She takes a lot of threes, taking at least 5 threes in the last 6 games. She's scored over this in 4 of the last 6. 2 of them back to back. Played big minutes, just wasn't shooting the ball well. But like we saw her go off for 27 against Seattle, 24 against New York, 25 against the Fever. Like I think she is probably going to be leveling out right around this number. So I like her to get 16 points in general, which I think like over 15.5 is her prop. But, if I can take minus 150 for a point, I'll do it.
That 15 is nice for a 3-point shooter like her. So now, because these are kind of shorter lays, this Survivor parlay will be a plus 194. So we'll get that in the app. And hopefully we can each survive another week and not have to already donate to the charity, which we do want to get to eventually. All right, that's it for now. We'll get to our mailbag in a second, but first I want to tell you guys about football season. We are a basketball podcast, but there are many football fans listening to this, I'm sure. And we've got some big improvements and updates coming on the award-winning Action Network app. Very excited to roll those out in the weeks ahead. But to get the most out of the app, you still need to be an Action Pro subscriber. It's only with Action Pro you get real-time pick alerts from folks like myself, the entire Action Network team of experts. Plus, you can access pro projections powered by Sean Kerner and the predictive analytics team, and many other benefits. Right now, Buckets WNBA listeners can save $20 off the annual price of Action Pro. Just go to actionnetwork.com/pro and use Buckets20 as your code. It's actionnetwork.com/pro. Use the code Buckets20 for $20 off the annual price of Action Pro. All right, Dano, mailbag. We went long on what was a big slate, so I've got a bunch of questions here. What we'll just do, we may only end up doing a couple of these, but they're a little bit of quick hitters, so we might get through a few.
I think we're a good time. We got
some time. We got some time.
We've gone way over this.
Yeah, that is true. It is often pushing that the triple digit, over the hour mark that I know is like the toxic. You don't want to get over the hour, but we're two chatty fellows, so. I'm going to lead with this question, but I think it's just kind of a fun question. Jackie asks, who do you want to see in the finals this year? So, Dano, just straight up, who do you want to see in the finals? No betting. I mean, you
Okay.
could weave the betting into it. It's hard to entirely take that out of it. But who do you want to see in the finals?
I mean, I'm out on the Liberty. Like, I just don't. I think they cheated the basketball gods by getting Emma Mieseman.
Wow.
Like, when they're all healthy, that team is going to be ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. What I think would be the most fun is a combination of the other three. Like any combination. I think Minnesota is so good and they play great ball. But I would love to see Cheryl lose. Um, I mean, I can't help but love this Mercury team. I feel like they're a family. Like, I adore them. But also, like, what it would mean for Semesco to reach the finals
That'd be nuts.
in his system and would get. I mean, it would be great for the sport, and it'd be entertaining. Like, they're an entertaining basketball club. So, really, any of those three. I don't want to see the Aces ever come near a championship again. I mean, in a dream world, Sparks, Valks would be fun, but like, like in a realistic world, those are any possible matchup of those three teams would be great.
I love it. I'm a very basic bitch. I want a rematch. I want Minnesota, New York. That finals last year was so good.
I'm sorry. Like, if we get it, shout out Douglas Farmer. Like, you could shut the hell up about the travel. I will be all the way. I'll be rooting so hard for New York if that happens, Jim. Like, I'll be so annoying.
Part of it is I want to shut up. I want as a Liberty fan, I want the Minnesota folks who are, they're wearing the t-shirts, the land of 10,000 lakes. It's all tears out there. Shout out our buddy Miles. I want to see the rematch. I want 7 games of that. I want 9 games of that. I want 15 games of that. If these two teams are healthy, I think it would be an incredible finals. I don't think a healthy Liberty team can't lose. I think they can lose. And part of it is we always talk about the mentality of the Liberty is kind of dicey. And I do think that if you get a fully healthy Minnesota team with the bench that they have right now, I think that's those two teams going up against it in the finals. I think it goes 6 or 7. I would pick the Liberty fully healthy, but it would be pretty interesting. And Fee would be the best player on the court. So it would be awesome to watch.
I keep having to remind myself that we get 7.
7. We get 7 games this year. How awesome is that?
That's so sick. I mean, the season is I know it's short, but it's long, so you forget. Yeah, you're right. I mean, okay, any combination of the 4.
We are in a really good place with the league, and I agree with that, because if it's Phoenix, I think I'm with you in wanting Phoenix, Minnesota. I don't think I'd want a Phoenix, New York. I'm not sure. The styles would be, whatever. I think
travel would be horrendous.
The travel would be horrendous. I think I would want Phoenix, Minnesota. Those two teams, weirdly, I lived in Minnesota for a couple of years. Phoenix and Minnesota have this weird connection. I feel like a lot of people from Minnesota moved to Phoenix. So I feel like that would be a really fun kind of rivalry between the two cities as well.
Love it.
Any final thoughts there?
No.
Let's go on to, this is the one that I was like, all right, this is the Dano question. I didn't have any honestly come to mind right away. I didn't give it a ton of thought because I was like, this is the Dano question. So Tim asks, what are some of the worst coaching moments you've witnessed this season? This feels right up your alley.
Oh my fuck. There's been a couple challenges. Tyler Marsh had a really bad challenge. Man, I do think from last year to this year, just the bar has been set higher, which is a good thing.
It has 100%.
There was a moment, which is weird. It was last weekend. Mystics were playing against the Wings at home, and Mystics are down 4. No, it's a tie game, and then coach just takes out Kiki and Sonia at the same time. This is post Sykes trade, and immediately the Wings go on a 10-0 run, and he brings it back in within a minute. It's if you're gonna tank, do it early. But But like Kurt Miller tanking last year was absolutely incredible. Like
Mm-hmm.
blowing 14-point leads with 3 minutes left. LT with Latricia Trammell was one of the
LT had a few like Hall of Fame
people
level.
people speak like, oh, like she wasn't that bad, but like that is the worst defense I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'll say that one that just happened this season to bring Dallas back into it was the end of that Dallas Fever game super recently with the timeout and then the non-timeout. There were some weird, funky, I don't think the best coaching stuff I've ever seen at the end of that game.
Yeah. I want to say I gotta look at my tweets too because I'm obviously a loose cannon.
We can circle back if you come up with some real bangers.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to commend the fact that the coaching's gotten better and there's been better assistant hires and whatnot. Definitely. But I don't think Tyler Marsh is going to be successful. I think he's just going to be a good long-term assistant coach. Yeah. Sorry. Noel Quinn, like nice person to hang out with, not a good head coach. But that's good that if they're the bottom, that's a lot better than years past. 100%. We had Derek Fisher in this goddamn league. That's my all-time favorite.
That's the lowest of the low. I burned that out of my memory. That was because he was just mailing it in too. He like truly didn't care.
Yeah, sets up a play for Neca to get a 2 down 3 with 2 seconds left. All-timer.
That's probably the number one. All right, Philip asks, best arena environment you've been in for the W. I think you've been to a few more arenas than I have. I've actually only been to 2. How many have you been to, first of all, and then what is your favorite of the bunch?
I guess Indiana, Connecticut, New York, Dallas, Phoenix. I think that's it. I haven't been to a Mystics game. I haven't been to a Dream game. Oh, Aces. Haven't been to Seattle game. Yeah, so 6, almost half the league.
Basically, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What's your top one of those 6?
Oh God. Let's start with the worst. Wings. Easy. There's not really a bad seat, but it's so small. It's at UT's campus. They're moving downtown next year, so that will be better. Connecticut. Just the shit. I'm so glad that team is. I don't know if they're leaving or not. I don't understand the story.
It's like they're leaving, then they rolled it back, and then...
I ain't reading all that shit. But
I'm sorry that happened, bro.
I'm so glad I'll never have to go back to Mohegan Sun ever again. Curse Casino, the arena sucks. So that's terrible. I mean, and I'll give the caveat, like the fans usually are pretty good everywhere. Like, but Aces, like was there during the championship years. Really fun place, like super. I mean, you're in a casino that's a real one, and the vibes are incredible. The team is, over the last 5 years been like very good. I don't think it tops like, I mean, and we're pretty spoiled. Like we've been to finals games at Barclays. Oh, I've been to Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota.
Yeah, you have been to Minnesota.
And I saw Sabrina's game winner there. Yep. Oh shit! That their fans are amazing. I don't think they touch the Libs. The Libs fans, if you're listening, you're the best in the world. Close to the X Factor in Phoenix. I think Libs might be better. I think Libs fans are like more authentic and like they have the bit of the New York like charm that is kind of like we'll talk shit a little bit, but also die hard. Like they'll scream at Sandy like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I love that. I love that when I had my seats at least that were down pretty close. But to me, it's the top 3 for sure are New York, Phoenix, and then Minnesota. But I'm not going to give Minnesota any credit for anything. So yeah, I'm happy to just keep it a tie at those 2.
Yeah, like I said, I've only been to 2, and it's probably the best in the league and probably the worst in the league, or certainly near the bottom. I've been to New York and Connecticut, and New York wins hands down there. I do I think it would be hard to beat the Liberty. They really do have some great crowds at Barclays. The one that I put at the top of my list that I want to go to is Ball Hall. I mean that is
Oh yeah, it looks so
established
sick.
itself quickly as
I
like
know.
the go-to spot. I'd love to go to Phoenix. I'd love to go to Minnesota. I think those are really, really great crowds as well. But I would love to get to a Valkyries game. So that's at the top of my list to go to. Like a playoff game out there, especially, I think would be challenging Liberty levels of fans who are just like psychotic, ear splitting, really all behind their team.
And cool rollout of the new mascot. Like that's just fun. That's just good shit.
They've done everything so well so far, man.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if any of these other teams that are coming in to the league can match that. If it's almost like, starting fresh, you're able to do this. But man, they set the bar really, really high. So I'll be curious to see. Okay, here's another fun one. This is from Max. Who are your 5 most bet on players in the W this season? First team all wager. And Max says, mine is Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Kiki Iriafen, Gabby Williams, and Kelsey Plum. Do you want a second to think it over? I've got my list here.
Yeah, I don't do too many props. I could answer this one pretty easy.
You want to just fire it off?
Yeah. So I've had bad luck with it. Anytime I do an Aces ladder, they get hurt. So I stopped doing that. They don't allow me to bet on it anymore, or any of us. I don't know if you are allowed to bet at Bet365, but Sammy Wickham made me a lot of money on a certain night, and so I'm very thankful for her. Satu, but it's very unsuccessful.
People can be on this for good or bad. They're most wagered on.
So I'd say like, I guess throughout the year, easily Satu, Sab, Stewie, Rakia is probably there, and I mean, like I don't bet Falcons props. Don't bet. I don't really bet the Dream props. I'd like to think I put less time in. I'm not like, oh, let me look for these unders. I like to have fun with it when it comes to props. Not as sharp. So, say those, and then Kiki or Sonia. Yeah, so it's like 5 or 6, but yeah, I mean they count as one.
Nice. Yeah, they're the Washington duo there. I have one Washington. I give myself a little starting 5. I think it actually would be a pretty fun starting 5 here. So I have Brittany Sykes. I think Brittany Sykes might be like the most bet on. I was always betting on her. Often with Sonia Citron, do a little Sykes assist, Citron points, something like that. Betting a lot of her points totals in Washington early season, then unders when she started to fade, all that stuff. Marina Mabry is kind of my Satu for you. I bet on her a ton, and I seem to lose all my Marina Mabry bets. I have not been able to figure out her points, her rebounds. With Mabry, I'm always hooked. It feels like I had a 4.5 rebound hook recently. So Mabry's like kind of the villain of the team, but she's a perfect villain. She leans in that role and kind of be like the feisty one out there. Ariel Atkins, not surprising I had her today. I've been betting her a lot. She's kind of the person I look to on Chicago to bet in either direction. If Angel's out, that means more usage, or if she's got limited minutes, stuff like that. Dearica Hamby's the 4 on my squad.
Oh man, I forgot about her. Yeah,
a lot of Hamby bets, a lot of Hamby rebounds, a lot of Hamby points and rebounds. I still remember to start of last year, your Hamby was it points ladder, points rebounds ladder? What was it? That was a banger.
20 points, 10 rebounds at like plus 80 to 1 or something. Yeah.
That was a blast. That was a really good one.
See, I mean, I'm up.
You just got to do the long shot. And then my center is Aaliyah Boston. Been doing a lot of Aaliyah Boston betting with.
Yeah, you do a lot of Aaliyah Boston.
Yeah, with Caitlin in and out of the lineup. That's a one I often go to. So that's my squad. That was a really fun question from Max, and we'll end with one.
Great question.
Kind of a big picture one, and if you want to kind of skip through us before too quick or kind of quickly, that's fine. But I do think it's interesting question from Nick. At what point does Paige take the light from Caitlin and take over as the premier player of the future? So I read this as a couple of different ways. I think you could say like face of the league. I'm not sure that's going to happen beyond. I kind of think for a certain section of WNBA fans, she already is. And I think we don't have to dive too deep into like kind of the culture wars of the WNBA on the show. But I think you can kind of see that for sections of the WNBA fan base, Paige already kind of is the face. But in terms of strictly as a player, I think it's going to be really interesting. I talked the last podcast about the players under 25 I would build around, and I already have Paige above Caitlin. Now, I don't think that's the consensus, but I think you would, and you would not. So do you think this will ever happen, or do you think
hurting my mouth?
you're laughing too hard at me taking Paige over Caitlin?
Dude, no. We forgot too early about what happened last year, and even with injuries, like I think, you know what, like I'm not saying Caitlin's done for the year, but even if she is, okay, she misses a year. It's fine. She hadn't missed one in her whole career. Like we had college seasons for those who are heavily involved in college. Like Paige missed a significant amount of time.
Definitely.
And I just don't think she had, to me, like her like best game, her Showtime game was at Phoenix where they lost. She had like 35, 37 or something. It was sick. And I don't know. I think Caitlin effed up standards, you know. Like the bar was set too high. If you have 19 assists in a game as a rookie, like that's just like unbelievable. So I think it's going to be a little while, and like getting in the playoffs also helps. Also, like, I mean, think about like the views too. Like, I mean, you're right. It's a basketball question and like kind of like a society and like almost fan type question. But
yeah,
I mean, to me, both it's going to be a while.
I agree. I've got a question. A fun little. I mean, who knows where we'll be in 20 years when the careers ends? Who ends their career with more rings, Caitlin or Paige?
I mean,
there's a trillion factors to have to think about here.
Yeah,
I think I would take Paige. I think Paige's style of play translates to titles better than Caitlin.
I don't. I don't know.
So you think Caitlin? Should we do a 20-year wager here, Dano, and check set the calendar for 2045 and see who has more rings at the end of the career?
Yeah, please, and come to. I mean, I'll be. Yeah, come to my niece's graduation. No, she'll be gone by then. I don't know. Come to her college graduation and demand my money if so. And
we'll still be cranking out buckets WNBA on Tuesday night.
I sure hope so. But I mean, I'm financially invested, Caitlin, from a card perspective. Yeah. So I'm gonna be. Come October, I'll be financially invested in Paige too. So
I think it's going to kind of be like it's much different team situations. Like Paige didn't land on a super team, but I think that it's going to be kind of like a Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell thing, where Caitlin's going to always have the stats and Paige is going to get her in the postseason a lot. And I think Caitlin will always be the face of the league. I don't think that's going to fade at all. From the most general fan approach, Caitlin's going to be more famous. But I think Paige is going to win like 2 to 3 rings. I think Caitlin gets like 1 in her career. That's where I'm
at. It'll be very interesting next year with free agency because, like, in theory, like Dallas could put a super team around her immediately.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, and Indiana also, like, you have, like your core. I don't know if Lexi Hull is going to be on her last year or not, but like Aaliyah and Caitlin are locked in on good deals, and depending on what the next CBA is, you could get some incredible pieces around them too.
Well, I think both players are going to attract players to play with them throughout their entire careers. I think saying 1 for Caitlin's probably. I think they could each have multiple. I could be very,
it's hard
very
to win. Hard to win a championship.
Yeah.
Ask Douglas Farmer.
Yeah. I think we'll end on that. So we always like a little spicy Dano on the way out here. So if you'd like to tail any of the bets we talked about in the podcast today, look in the quick slip link in the podcast episode description. We'll also be posting that Survivor Parlay on the Parlay Express account. So make sure you listen or check out that account. Apologies. Download the app, like and subscribe on YouTube if you're listening on podcast, rate and review. Thanks to David Payne on audio, Gifford Gould on YouTube. For myself and Dano, Mataya, and Dano's Tooth, let's get buckets.
31.